face on my phone means we're live. Hey everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. Today is the inception of my new live show. I recently moved it to Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. to better accommodate our schedules and relieve myself of stress. One thing that you all should learn, we all should learn in life, is if something is hard, if you're struggling, if it's stressful and you can change it, change it. So I had to ixnay the Sunday live show. It was just too rough for me, guys. So here we are on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. I feel like this is going to work out so much better for me personally. But if I noticed a trend of less viewers or a lot of people unable to make it, we can try something new. But I hope this works out for us. Let's see who's in the chat. Trina is here. Amy, Nebraska. Flippin' Daddy's at work. Hello. One Blue Eye. Paloma Posh in the house. Tina's here. Dawn. Amy. I already said hi to Amy. Sorry, guys. Nathan, hi. Yeah, hon, I heard about your mom. I'm really sorry. Sending you lots of love and light. It's tough. I've lost both of my parents. So if you need an ear, you know where to find me. Landshark Pickers here. Red Willow Farms. Pete. Everybody's here. I'm actually seeing some different folks, which may be the new night and time. Patrick's here. Welcome in. So while we wait for folks to get in, before we get into the meat of the show, the topic, I got something in the mail. Bridget Kelly. So this is from Anna Stewart. She's a longtime viewer on the channel. She's also a member of the Flippin' Hippos Facebook group. She's a familiar face, and she sent me a package. I've been sitting on it for a couple of days, but I wanted to open it live. I try to open everything I receive live. So I've been saving it. I think I got it Thursday or Friday from the post office. I know what's inside because on the outside it says plush toy hippo. It came all the way from Canada. This came all the way from Anna in Canada. And I guess you have to write on there what it is for customs. There's a card. Let's look at that first. Hey, Rhonda and Amelia. Jamie. Kelly, did I say hi to you? Butterfly. Caffeinated Christie's in the house. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. So Anna is a reseller. I don't know if she wants me to give out her store. I was about to give out her store name, but I should probably ask her before I do that. But we can read her card. It says, "Hello, sweetie. The green fella's not very special. He has a burn on his back. Hugs to all the family." Okay, so we have a special hippo in here. We have a hippo who has a disability. He will fit right in with all the other broken hippos and the broken star in this house. Amy, yes, you need to join the Facebook group. You need to. If you haven't already, you should have. It's a good group. Everyone in there is really great. Sheila says, "Hi, Star. One of my first live shows." Oh, well, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. New faces. Rusted Raccoon is here. Bill and David are in the house, guys. Gnome and Frog, my moderators there. My lovely moderators and really good friends. And I have a new little friend. Look at his face. Oh my God, this hippo's cute. I think he's different colored, but I can't tell in this light. It's like he's, yeah, he is, see? He's modeled, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, he is cute. He's got a little tail. Look at his tail. He's cute. Alright, we got this green one. This is going to be my special hippo. Oh, he does have a burn. Oh, poor hippo. It's okay. Even broken hippos are worth love, right? Isn't he cute? 2 new babies for Star to love. We'll have to teach them how to do the shipping. We'll get them trained this week and they'll show up in some shipping pictures. So Anna is here. Anna, I'm so glad. I just saw you pop up in the chat. So glad you're here. I love my new babies. I love them. I'll have to figure out names for them. I'm behind on naming my hippos. I have a lot of hippos around here who don't have names. They're just hippos. Anyway, we'll get these guys trained and we'll get them in some photos. Thank you so much, Anna, for both of them. I love them both. Don't worry about the burn. He's perfect as he is. If you guys remember Hugo, the big planter Wade sent me, has a broken ear. I love disabled, broken animals. I feel like they're my kindred, hippos. So thank you, Anna. I love them and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. They will join our family of hippos on the shelf. All right. So, frog, Gnome the frog gave me a heart face. It's a little weird to be on at 7. Normally, by 7, I'm in pajamas with my hair on top of my head and no makeup and I'm listing. But that's okay. Alright, guys. So, it's October 8th. It is Tuesday. And we have already gone through the first full week of Q4. We're in the second week of Q4. Hopefully, everyone's sales are better. Q4 is really good. I'm not articulating well tonight. What I wanted to say, there's a misconception that when the clock flips over or the calendar page turns and we hit Q4, that you're immediately going to see triple, quadruple, 5 times the amount of sales as normal. And that's not really the case. They get bigger and better as we go on. These first 2 weeks of October, usually everyone sees a definite increase because we're coming out of that summer slowdown. September was pretty bad for a lot of folks. But you should continue to see an increase in your sales as we go further into the season. But everyone should be improving. I know this last weekend was poop for a lot of people, including us. If you are in the Facebook group, you're familiar with our Monday Stacks thread that we do. The Monday morning, everyone posts a picture of their sales from the weekend. We call it the Fat Stacks. And a lot of folks in there were having really slow sales. A lot of volume sellers like Keith and I. We have volume sellers in there who do a higher volume than even Keith and I. We have folks in there with 4,000 listings. Rhonda and Amelia, they have more listings than us, and they typically sell more than us. And I believe you guys had 17 sales on eBay, but your Poshmark killed it. Their Poshmark killed it over the weekend. I'm trying to think. I know I saw Heather's Menagerie was lower than normal, and she usually does about double what we do. So it was a bad weekend for everyone. We only had 18 on eBay. Typically for, that Friday to Monday afternoon, we should be at like 30. We only had 18. Our Poshmark was really good too. We had 5. That's really good for us. So don't get discouraged, guys. This weekend was kind of for everyone, but we had 11 today. Just eBay sales. 11 sales today on eBay on a Tuesday. So after the weekend, we rebounded back and we sold some more. We already sold quite a few things since. Let me look. Maybe I'm lying to you. Oh, we did. We had 4. We're waiting for payment on all 4. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there that I noticed that a lot of folks were slow. So if you were slow, it wasn't just you. And number 2, again, reiterating, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because a lot of us that had really bad weekends on eBay killed it over on Poshmark. So when you have different platforms, different streams of income, it's very rare that all are going to be poop at the same time. It's very rare that you'll have different platforms you're selling on or different streams of income and everybody's poop. Usually 1 or 2 will be poop and the rest will pick up the slack. So it's important that you do spread yourself out that way so they can pick up the slack. So I've noticed when we're doing, really light sales on Poshmark, our eBay picks up. When our eBay's slow, our Poshmark will pick up. Our Amazon affiliates will pick up when YouTube revenue is down, vice versa. It's just nice to have a lot of streams of income so that when things are slow on one, you have somebody else. You have something else bringing money in for you to keep you steady. And though it is rare for all of your streams of incomes to be poop at the same time, it is not rare for all of them to be doing well. There are times when all your streams of income are doing well, and then you've hit the jackpot. So I just wanted to reiterate that, guys. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you haven't expanded out to a new platform, you absolutely should, especially now. Now is the time. We are in Q4. People want to spend their money, and you need to have your items in front of as many eyeballs and as many audiences as possible, and that includes spreading out. So if I'm trying to figure out, I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. Trina says, Trina, you said something about that would be nice though, and I can't find what that would have been in reference to. I'm lost. The chat has like kind of a delay, and sometimes I read something and I'm like, what is the context? But September was good for me. October has been poop. Pete says Macari saved me. Yeah, so now's the time definitely you want to get out. Hi, Cherry Picker, welcome in. And start spreading out. If you're afraid, that's okay. I mean, there's something to be ashamed about. I didn't want to do Poshmark. It really was off-putting to me, but I'm thankful for it now. If you're not in the Facebook group, let me reiterate, you should be. The link's in the box down below, or you can look for Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. And you can get in there and start talking to folks about other platforms to get more comfortable. If you have any questions about it, or you don't know how to quite start on a different platform, someone can help you in the group. Sydney, the Posh boss, is in there. She's sick right now, you guys. She got the flu. I'm pretty sure she got it in the airport on the way home from here. In fact, today marks 1 day since Sydney left. We took her to the airport. She came down with the flu. So if you guys see her around on social media, wish her well. Wish her that she feels better soon. She's missing Posh Fest because she's sick. But anyway, she's in the group. She can help you out with with Poshmark. And then there are some folks in there who sell Macari. We don't, but there's a lot of folks in there that do. Jamie's in there. He sells on Amazon. So if you want, to learn about other platforms, you can reach out in the group. So, about the calendar changing and the sales. Okay, Trina, thank you so much. Yeah, it would be nice if we flipped over to October 1st and suddenly we were selling 40 items a day, but that's not how it works. And I'm pretty sure that's spelled correctly. Hey, Jennifer, welcome in. So, okay, I have an announcement to make, but I guess I'll make it at the end because my notes here kind of lead up to it. So let's just jump on in. So we are in Q4. Hi, Dennis. You're not late. You're cool. Arriving in style, right? Late with style. Let me get a drink. So, we're in Q4. And I want you guys to do what you've always been doing, but add something to it. Change your way of thinking and add something. You don't necessarily have to stop sourcing the way you always have, but you kind of have to. In some areas of the country, there's no more yard sales. The church sales will dry up. And things will look different in the thrift stores. Our thrift stores keep all the things out all the time. But I have heard from some folks that they live in areas where the thrift stores do a change seasonally. So they'll start putting out more coats, more jackets, more pants, boots, things like that right now. And they'll take away all of the summer wear. So then you're kind of forced that you're only searching for seasonal things when you're thrifting. If you live in an area where yard sales dry up and church sales dry up, there's kind of a shift. So whether you're forced to or you're just changing your way of thinking, there should be a shift in our sourcing right now. It's just a minor shift, a minor shift of thought. You can look for whatever you always do, but what I want you guys to do is just kind of shift your thinking just a little bit, even if you're in an area that doesn't force you to do it. And by that I mean, definitely keep your eyes out for the winter apparel. I tell you guys all the time, list all the things all the time. Things will always sell, and that is true. But you want to focus on more of what's going to sell now and not so much of what is out of season. If you still find booty shorts for 50 cents a piece, 99 cents a piece, stock up on them, list them. Someone will buy them. Someone's going on a cruise. Somebody lives in Florida where it's always warm. So it's not to say that you shouldn't be looking for those things, but your focus, your number one priority, most of your capital should be going into things that are going to sell now, because you want to have the fastest flips. You want to have the fastest return on your investment. So you don't, while shorts will sell right now, they're not going to sell as fast as they did in the middle of the summer. So you may be looking at investing, say, $20 on 10 pairs of shorts. That's not right. My math is bad. You find 10 pairs of shorts and you spend $5. There you go. That $5 that you invested may sit for months, but what if you've taken that $5 and bought 2 pairs of jeans or 2 pairs of corduroy pants? They're going to flip faster. So it's not to say that everything won't sell all the time, and don't pass up deals if you see them. If it's stuff a bag somewhere and you can get, 50 pairs of shorts in there for a couple bucks, do it, list them, but don't make those your priority, because you want the things that you're listing to give you the fastest return on your investment. Because how you build a business when you're a reseller, how you get bigger, how you get better items, how you grow, is to invest the money and get the return on it. It's bigger, put it back in, and it just keeps flipping and flipping and flipping, so that you could turn $20 eventually into thousands. And it is possible. Remember, Keith and I started with a $20 bill. He sold his own items from around the house, and then he took his first $20 bill to the Benz, and we just recently plopped $1,600 down on a massive order of remotes. So you can grow. You can definitely get there. And the way to do that is to get stuff that's going to give you the fastest return on your investment and continue to grow your capital. That's not to say that everything that you source right now that's winter clothing is going to flip within a month of listing it, or 2 months, or 3 months. The rule of used clothing still applies. We talked about this a little bit in one of my haul videos last week. Used clothing is not fast. It is very, very, very long tail. And you can buy what is in season, what is in fashion, till the cows come home, and it's just not going to flip fast. Okay, it's some of the luxury brands, some of the really sought after fashions, things like that might. And occasionally you're going to hit the right person at the right time, and you may list a bread and butter item that normally sits for a couple of months and it sells within a couple of days because it was the right style and size for the person looking for it right then. That does happen. We have items that sell really fast sometimes, and then similar that sit and sit and sit. But in generally speaking, clothing is very long tail. It can take 3 to 9 months to sell depending on the item. But you want to try to aim for the 3 to 6 month area is what I'm saying. So you don't want to get stuff that's going to sit for 9 months if you can help it. But it is long tail. Sell-through rate on used clothing is right about... Sorry, guys. I needed to edit my live shows. The sell-through rate is right at 0.5%. Some folks can get it a little bit higher if they have access to a lot of newer tags or luxury brands or designer items. Some people are a little bit lower and they do more volume to make up for it if all they have access to is a lot of brands like mall brands and bread and butter and filler items. But that said, let's talk about this little shift in our little brains. So if you're a clothing seller, what you want to be focusing on and making your main focus right now when you're outsourcing, corduroy pants. Yes, I put those ahead of jeans. Corduroy pants do really, really well for a lot of people in the fall and the winter months. I know that Megan and Winnie does a killing on them. I haven't done like a big sourcing trip for them yet this fall. We're trying to kind of cut back on sourcing right now, but corduroy pants do really well. The general rule of thumb is you want to find them for like $2.50 or less. The cheaper the better. Get them at the bins, get them on 99-cent day if you can, but pay like $2.50 or less to get a good return on your investment. And aim for size 14 and higher because the bigger brands sell quicker. But even the smaller sizes, the mid sizes will sell. I've never really worried about the brand, and I think Megan's the same way. Corduroy pants just do really well. There's brands that will sell for more money. There's brands that will sell a little bit faster. But the general rule of thumb for me, at least, if they're cute, if they're a good size, and they're a good price, $250 or less, I'll pick them up. You want to look for all colors. All colors do really well. I've done really well with really weird colors like purple and teal, gold, mustard yellow, things like that. So you want to look for the colored ones. You want to look for the ones that have style, so they're not just pants. You want to look for the corduroys that maybe have flare leg or boot cut or low rise, things like that. So corduroy pants are something that everyone should be looking for. And of course, jeans. You guys know jeans sell all year round, but this is the time that people are really looking for them. I'm not going to get into what brands or anything. I've got plenty of videos, haul videos and what sold videos and videos where I've talked about jeans plenty. And congratulations, Happy Gingers, for 30K followers on Posh. That's awesome. Melly Lynn has 68 items up, usually around 80 clothing, 4 to 6 items a week. So that's pretty good, yeah. Okay, so you want to look for corduroy pants, jeans, sweaters, both men and women's. And within the sweaters, of course, you want to look for the better brands. You want to look for wool, cashmere. You want to look for the sweater vests for the men. I don't know what it is about the sweater vests. They're like magic. Keith will pick them up in all sizes, colors, designs, and brands and bring them home. And they flip like pancakes. They're fast. And he brings home brands that are like you would totally avoid, like for men's polos or button fronts, like Dockers, and he'll flip them for like $20. And I really thought sweater vests were like a thing of the past. Apparently there is a whole slew of nerdy professors out there looking for those sweater vests. So you want to be looking for those. You want to be looking for coats, jackets. Jean jackets do really well, especially women's jean jackets. You want to be looking for, again, in coats, you want to look for wool. You also want to try to find leather. If you have thrift stores that have the sale days, you can do a killing on coats right now. We get genuine 100% leather coats for 99 cents on Sundays, and those things will flip for $20, $40, $50, $60 depending on the brand. So keep an eye out for those. If you do shoes, you want to look for boots. For some reason, every woman in the world, including me, and I'm not even a typical woman, we all have to have a pair of boots for the winter. And I normally live in jeans and t-shirts and tennis shoes, but I do have a pair of boots. But I live in a place where it snows, and they're snow boots, and they're fur lined, and they keep my feet warm. So even women who don't care about fashion or dressing cute, if they live somewhere like I do, they're going to want boots. But most women wear them for the fashion sense. There are some really cute boots out there. So be looking for those. They're really in style. They're really in fashion. Sweater vests are big in the tech space. Why does that not surprise me? I did say nerds. No offense. I'm a nerd too. No one take offense. I'm a nerd. But I just always think of nerds with the vests and the little pocket protectors. You want to be looking for hats, like winter hats, like, I'm brain farting on it. The Russian hats with the little flaps. You guys know what I'm talking about. I was just having this conversation with Holly the other day because she had one. But they're like the little wool hats with the flaps. They look like the Fargo hats. And then they have women's fur hats, and they have the beanies. Look for those. Scarves. You want to look for ski apparel. That does really, really well. And in a lot of instances, ski apparel sells for a lot of money. Certain men's pants and stuff like that. New with tags. Definitely. Used clothing will sell in Q4. Used clothing sellers will sell more in Q4. But new with tags will go first and fastest because people are looking for gifts. And not everyone's going to give someone an item that's used. So they're going to be looking for new with tags. So you want to look for new with tags clothing. That's, you can stumble upon that sometimes when you're out thrifting. You may want to look, on online arbitrage. Maybe go on Poshmark and see if there's anybody selling reseller mystery boxes with new with tags clothing. And if it's a price that's worth flipping, you can do that. Some people have wholesale deals and stuff like that. Yeah. And you want to look for sought after brands. So you guys know I do a lot of bread and butter and I do a lot of filler, and that's fine. You should keep doing that. If you have a volume-based business, if that's what you can find in your area, keep doing your mall brands and your bread and butter and your filler, but keep your eyeballs out for those more sought after brands, because that's what's going to go first right now too. I did say that most people will buy new with tags for gifts, but if there's a brand of clothing, I'm not even going to, give an example. We'll just say there's a brand of clothing that sells new for $400, and somebody's daughter has always wanted a pair of those jeans, and they can't afford it, but they can get them online used for $100, $150. They'll get them for the daughter. So I feel like folks will buy used clothing as a gift for family and very, very close friends if it's a designer brand that's normally so expensive that no one can afford it, and they can get it used in good condition. The person receiving the gift probably wouldn't care that it's used because it's something that's so sought after. Does that make sense? So look for those kind of brands, because the used of those are going to be being looked for. And then also people get they get eBay gift cards, number one. Number two, they get cash. A lot of people get cash as a gift from their family, and those are the people that are coming onto eBay to purchase clothing for themselves that they normally couldn't afford, normally wouldn't spend the money on. So if somebody loves Miss Me jeans and can't afford them normally and can't justify the cost of even used ones, they get $50 for Christmas from grandma. They might go online and buy a pair of used Miss Me's for $50. So look for those brands for sure. You also want to keep your eyes out for hard goods. I know a lot of my viewers are used clothing sellers and plush, but I'm always telling you guys, don't sell yourself short by putting all your eggs in one basket. You got to be versatile in this business. You just have to be versatile. The more variety of items that you learn about, that you know about, that you educate yourself about, that you research, that you source, bring home, and list and flip, the more successful you will be. So do not pass up hard goods, especially this time of year. Go look at the coffee mugs. Look for the Starbucks mugs. Look for the collector mugs. Look for Disney, Looney Tunes, recognizable characters. We have a Game of Thrones gift set. We have a Christmas Story gift set. Coffee mugs, brand new in the box. We found out thrifting. Shot glasses, drinking glasses, beer glasses, Pilsner glasses, all those kinds of mugs, cups, glasses, shot glasses. Anything like that that's a collectible that has something on it that people like, get it if you see it while you're out thrifting. Put it in your store. Those are the kind of items also people are looking for gifts. If someone knows I like hippos and they see a hippo coffee mug online on eBay, they might get it for me. So look for those kinds of pop culture, recognizable characters, anything you think is something somebody somewhere would love and collect. Because for every item that has a fan base, I guess, or people out there that collect and love that item, those people have family and friends that are going to buy that for them. You also want to look for things that obviously are gifts, like still in the box coffee mug gift set, still in the box toys, still in the box Barbies. Look for journals and stuff like that too, because there's a lot of geeks out there like me that love bullet journals and love pens and stationery, and thrift stores always have that stuff like brand new for really, really cheap. And I think it's because a lot of the brick and mortar stores donate their overstock to Goodwill and other thrift stores. I've seen sometimes like baskets full of the same hardback bullet journal, just thousands of them up front for like $0.25 a piece. So when they get that overstock, you want to take advantage of it, because somebody out there knows somebody like me who would geek out totally over getting a new journal and pens for Christmas. So if you see like your Goodwill or any place get that, grab a bunch of them. It's one, you get to take a photograph of one of them. It's one listing with multiple items. So that's a good idea as well. And then you want to delve into the figurines and the plush. Definitely the plush. And this is when you want to really look for the vintage plush, because the vintage plush are being collected by folks my age now. They're looking for things from their youth or their childhood, or they're looking to gift it to someone. Look for anything that's recognizable, pop culture, Disney, Looney Tunes, Pokemon, anything from video games, anything from animes, anything from movies, things like that. Anything that you could look at and think, somebody wants that as a present, or somebody knows somebody that wants that as a present. That's the kind of plush you want to be looking for right now. And the same goes for figurines, pretty much the same rules as plush. Kitchen cooking things is a very good idea. There's people out there who love to cook, and they love to be in the kitchen, and they love their gadgets. And that's the kind of stuff you should be putting in your store if you find it. I know that Pampered Chef is still really popular. I think the prices have kind of tanked and been raced to the bottom on eBay. But if you can find like Pyrex, like the vintage Pyrex and stuff like that, there's people that enjoy cooking and like their gadgets and the newer stuff, like the Margaritaville mixer, which we found one for $20 at a yard sale. It's in my kitchen and it ain't going nowhere. I love it. But things like that. But there's also folks who like the vintage stuff. So if you find the Pyrex, that's good. If you find anything cast iron, get it. I mean, I am still on the lookout for a cast iron skillet like my grandmother cooked in. And I would love to have one, and there's got to be other people out there that feel that way. So if you find it cheap enough, like at estate sales and stuff, get it put in your store. Somebody's going to buy it. Okay, we talked about hard goods. We talked about the clothing. You can still kind of right now look for costumes, but you're almost out of time for that. It's already the 8th of October. If you got it up like within the next week or so, I'd say it's probably still okay to still look for costumes and get those up. Dog costumes, pet costumes do really, really well. I will never forget 2 years ago, we found a slew of dog costumes at the bins. It was like one whole blue bin full of dog costumes. And those sold, there were Target brands, and then there were like Old Navy brands, and higher end brands and lower end brands, and it didn't matter what brand it was. They all sold. We had small dog, medium dog, large dog, all kinds of costumes, and they just sold so fast. People love to dress their animals up. They do, and it's cute. So look for those too. Holly, I'm not sure. I'd have to see it because I can never remember what company it was or whatever. When I see it, I know it. It's like, oh, that was my grandma's. I wish I had hers, and I'm just trying to find similar. Next best thing, right? I used to help her season it. Side note, if you were wondering, I used to help my grandmother season all her cast irons. Hey, Deb and Mel are sneaking in, so everybody say hi to them so that everyone sees them and they're not sneaking. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome in. MW just sold a ski bib overall. Awesome. And from Canada, yeah, you absolutely have to consider weight, Anna. That's a big deal for you. Okay, so let's talk about, you got costumes, you can still do those, but you want to be looking for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and believe it or not, start thinking about Valentine's Day. I know it's not even Halloween yet. I'm a horrible person, but come December-ish, even maybe, December-ish, you probably want to start listing your Valentine's Day stuff. The general rule of thumb when I used to work in retail at stores was about 2 months ahead of time. So most stores are going to be putting stuff out about 2 months ahead of time. You want to follow that trend. So come December, you want to have your mindset already and have Valentine's Day items that you can list. So we're almost up, we're almost out of time as far as shipping Halloween items, but you can definitely still think about Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, and in January is when you want to start listing St. Patrick's Day. So Yeah, time goes by way too fast. Way too fast. Those of you that follow me on Instagram may have seen my post this morning that you guys realize we have only 3 months left in this decade. It's not even just in this year. We're almost through a whole decade. We're almost through a whole second decade of 2000. Can you believe it? Do y'all remember when we all lost our minds in 1999 and we thought the world was going to end at the millennium? And now we have 3 months left of the second decade. We're going to be starting a new decade, so it's just crazy. Time goes by too fast. Holly, I will go online and look it up. I have to find what it looks like. Excuse my it noise. It's October and I'm all like horror movie noises on my phone. And before anyone asks, and excuse me if I sound a little snotty, no, I'm not going to silence my phone for a show. Not going to happen. Been asked before. Ain't going to happen. I like my phone noises. Found toward Doc, what? Wait, back up the truck. You found a Doctor Who dress that was also torrid? That's like hitting the jackpot and then finding out the jackpot was triple what you thought the jackpot was going to be. That is a torrid dress, first of all, and it's Doctor Who. Holy frickin' Batman balls. That was exciting. Excuse my mouth. I sold some Valentine's placemats a few days ago. Yeah, I mean, everything sells all the time. That's the point. We were selling Christmas stuff in July. People buy stuff all the time. I sold an Easter plush a couple weeks ago. Weird. But I did. I cannot wait till it's over. I hope you're not talking about this decade. I don't want to get any older. I feel like an old fart. Hey, Jamieson's Closet, welcome in. You know what makes me feel old? I have an 18-year-old. That makes me feel more old than my own age. Like, when did I become adult enough to mother another adult? That's just crazy. Hi, Holly. I didn't see you there, says David. Okay, so we went over, like, what you should be looking for. Rethinking, just that little in your brain, just to think a little bit differently. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next part of this. If you've been watching me for a while and you've been listening to me and you were listening in August and September as we got closer to Q4 and you took my advice, you guys shouldn't have any death piles or I don't want to piles in your house, right? I say that like that because I still have death piles and I've been diligently working through them. So if you were listening to me and you took my advice, you should have at least started to attack them. I would hope that you got rid of the I don't wannas because the I don't wannas are the worst. They're worse than death piles because it's crap that's sitting in a pile that you don't want to deal with and you're probably never going to deal with and you've got money tied up in it and it's just sitting there. That's the worst. I really advise folks to go through the I don't wannas first because if you can just lot the crap up and get rid of it and sell it or redonate it and take the credit on your taxes, you need to get rid of the I don't wannas first. Those are the worst. I'm trying to read the chat and talk at the same time and that doesn't work. Hey Pittsburgh, welcome in. Holly's just here with her band hammer in case anybody gets out of line. That's all. My grandchildren will be 4 years old. And we're a bunch of old farts. Hey, I heard, speaking about, like, so total sidetrack, right? We went to Walmart yesterday to get ink for our printer. And there were these two, like, teenage kids talking about how much they love Blue's Clues. And I looked at the kids and I was like, is that even still a thing? Because, like, my son's 18 and he watched that when he was 2. And they're like, oh yeah, Blue's Clues has a reboot and it's not even Steve or Joe anymore and it's all like a new Blue. So apparently Blue's Clues has a reboot. That makes me feel old because I remember my son not even 2, like 1, and his little Blue's Clues tank top from Walmart and a diaper, like sitting in front of the TV. Booze goose. Crazy. We should all feel old. Well, anyone that's my age, I guess. My mom's over here complaining about a 30-year-old. That's funny. Did you? I can't seem to keep a death pile. Elizabeth says, I have no problems with keeping death piles because I got 99-cent days. I've been buying wholesale. I've been buying out people that are retiring or getting out of eBay. I've been buying up inventory. We made a huge purchase recently, which is what I'm going to talk about at the end. There's death piles that are okay to have if you're going to get around to them, and then there's the death piles that aren't okay. And those I don't want piles are just like the worst because they just sit there and you look at them and you know you don't want to deal with it and it's money. So, my annoying pile of what the hell to do with it. That's funny. I call them the I don't wannas. The I don't wanna piles. Most of our I don't wannas are gone. I don't even really think I technically have a death pile anymore either, to be frankly honest with you. By the end of this week, everything that's in our eBay room will be photographed. Probably not listed yet, but it will all be photographed, cataloged, and put away in the inventory. So come this weekend, I will not have any more jeans, women's tops or coats, men's shirts, or hard goods in this room. Those will all be gone. Now, I do have a surplus of plush that I've built up. You guys know about my big box in the hallway that I throw them into. I buy a ton of them over the summer and throw them in there. Those will last me through the winter because I don't have yard sales or church sales where I can go in and come home with 50 to 100 plush every weekend. So that's okay. They're meant to be built up for the winter. But come this weekend, we're not going to have any clothes up here. So these aren't even death piles. This is stuff we're working on this week. Working through the plush still. So that pile is even getting smaller. Now, I will say we still have a ton of stuff on the first floor from my friend's store. When she retired, she gave me all her inventory. We've been working through that like one box at a time. So we still have a ton of that down there. And then I have to say there's like these new I don't want us and death piles showing up because we are clearing out our inventory. We're doing our once a year double check everything. Good idea for you guys to do too. Things fall off over time for whatever reason. The gremlins eat them. The goblins take them. I don't know what happens, but stuff that you have listed, you know is listed, falls off. It's not listed anymore. And so it's a good idea to go through your inventory and double check. We've gone through probably about a fourth of the serial killer room. The serial killer room for new viewers isn't as grotesque as it sounds. It's just a big scary room in the attic of our Victorian house that has scratches in the walls and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Henceforth the name, the serial killer room. But it's just a really big, scary, unfinished attic. If you guys are familiar with Victorian houses, they're really scary. Haunted. I don't know. It's a really big room. It's like the whole house. Just giant room. It's where we store everything. And then we have a finished room up there where we store plush. So we've been going through all of that just a little bit at a time, organizing it and finding out what's fallen off. Now, if it fell off and it's poop, it was something that was a mistake, we should never have sourced, we're putting it in a donate pile. We'll give all that stuff back to Goodwill and take the write-off at tax time. But anything that should be relisted, we're bringing downstairs and slowly working through that. But I wouldn't consider those death piles. Like my friend's inventory that I inherited, I knew it was going to take me a long time to slowly go through it. And then, you know, you always find the stuff that falls off. We have 3 boxes already filled. We've only been through a little portion of that room. And there's already like 3 huge boxes full of stuff that I've got to relist. But I wouldn't call those death piles. Those are like rainy day projects. It's like if we can't get out to source, or we don't source enough, or we don't find enough when we're outsourcing, my fallback is to go through my friend's inventory on the first floor that I inherited, or to go upstairs and grab boxes of the stuff that fell off. So those are my like rainy day projects, I guess, if I don't have enough to do. So I guess I have to technically say I don't have any more death piles or I don't want to piles, honestly. through all the shoes. I got through all those shoes. I got 3 pairs of shoes sitting out there that are I don't want us. But it's not a pile. It's 3 pairs that are going to require a lot of work, and they're gross, and I don't want to deal with it. So they're sitting out there. Anyway. Pittsburgh, that's a very good idea. Selling off your I don't want as a bulk auction makes it more manageable. It gets you your money back in hand also more quickly. You've already invested money in them, and if you're redonating them, you have to wait till tax time to get the write-off, and it's not necessarily money you ever get back in your hand as capital to buy more inventory with. So if you can sell your crap, your poop, whatever, and get that money back in your hand to buy better inventory, that's always the best deal to do. Sending stuff to thread up. Yeah, you can do that. Definitely look into it, all of it, before you do it. Sydney and I were kind of looking at it when she was here, and I didn't think it sounded like it was worth, it wasn't worth sending anything in that's worthwhile. So if it's worth money, you want to list it yourself. The fee, what they pay out wasn't enough for me to like send in a ton of stuff. But if you've got poop or mistakes or whatever, why not? Just make sure you look through everything before you do it so you're not disappointed. Stuff that's not interesting. Yeah, if it's not interesting to you, if it doesn't spark passion and joy and love, you're not going to list it. You're just not going to. Period. Melly Lynn says, I continue to educate myself daily on reselling. I wouldn't know half the stuff I do if it weren't for channels and content like yours. Thanks for sharing all that you do. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you too. So thank you so much for watching. I love to teach. I love to interact with folks. So it's my pleasure. We're still learning every day too. I think people that have been doing this for 10 years are still learning. Everyone is still learning because things change, times change, what's in style changes, the market changes, what's popular changes. And, you know, most of us are an expert at one thing or 2 things, but you don't know everything about everything. So we're all still learning. That's what I love about the Facebook group is that there's so many different people in there doing different things that we're all learning from each other all the time. So, Amy says, have a great night all. Amy, do not forget to join the Facebook group. I'm reminding you. Thank you so much, Pete. That's so nice to hear. Okay, so, y'all, I've been saying it for months. I'm going to say it one more time. Get rid of your I don't wanna piles. Start tackling your death piles. With the exception of folks who live in a place like I do. So 50% or more of our country lives in a place that is not sourcing friendly in the winter. We have wintry weather. So there's times in the winter where we live in Pittsburgh that we get snowed in for a whole weekend. Or the roads are icy for a whole week. I think that other people that live in places like this can attest that sometimes they take a while to clear the roads. It's kind of annoying. They'll get the main highways, but sometimes it'll snow or it'll get real icy and you're waiting like 3 days for the freaking trucks to come and clean your road. And you can get stuck inside. Not to mention that, even when the roads are clear, let's put this out there, even if it didn't snow or wasn't icy, there's days here, and there's places colder than here, so you can only imagine, but there's days here in the middle of the winter where with the wind chill factor, you're looking at negative 20 degrees. And I don't care who you are and how much you love the source, it's not pleasant to go out in negative 20 degrees. With the wind chill factor blowing ice. The wind finds ways. You guys that live in cold places, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You could have on 10 shirts, 2 jackets, with a hoodie underneath all of that, and a beanie and a scarf, 3 pairs of socks, boots, and 2 pairs of jeans over long johns. And that wind will still find the tiniest little hole in your sleeve or at your neck and just get right into your body and freeze you. It's not pleasant. Excuse me. So, you know, if you live in a place where it's going to snow, the roads are going to get icy, it's going to get unbearably, horribly, uncomfortably, painfully, wind blowing in your face, ripping your nose off, it hurts to breathe, cold. You don't want to go out sourcing. especially if you normally get a lot, because then you got more than one trip to carry the stuff. No, not happening. So we don't really get out to source a lot in the winter. We just don't. We either get snowy roads, icy roads. It's too cold. We don't like it. So we do build up death piles now, or stockpiles. I shouldn't call them death piles. We build up stockpiles, much like my plush. I overbuy plush. I buy more plush than I could possibly ever list all summer long, and that's the plush I list all winter long. I still get to the one Goodwill pretty regularly for the 50-cent plush in the winter, but sometimes it's 2 or 3 weekends in a row I don't go. So I do build that up. So if you live somewhere like us, build up your stockpiles. Don't call them death piles. Call them your squirrel piles or your bear piles or whatever other cute animal hoard stuff for the winter. That's what you can call it. Just make sure that you have extra just in case you can't get out. Yeah, Red Willow Farm says if you're like me and you like to hibernate. I am pretty much a recluse even in the summer and the nice weather. I get really extra reclusey in the winter. I don't like cold weather at all. I would rather just stay inside and mind my own business and work. One blue eye. If you're asking me what my eBay is, all my information is down in the description box down below. It's the Hippo Hut. Hello from Vermont. I believe that's one of the states where it is colder than it is here. I'm from Arizona originally. We're actually not going to be in Pittsburgh forever, but we are here now. So this is where we have to make it work for us right now. We have a plan to move to Florida in a couple of years. We're on we follow Dave Ramsey and we're on this whole plan. Story for another day. But this is where we live, so we make it work. So if you live somewhere like here, you gotta be making your stockpiles. And yes, Deb and Mel, you'll still be running your AC and going to yard sales when it's negative 20 here and I can't open my front door because the snow built up against it, right? Vicky Vault says she has to go to work regardless of weather. Had to be there at 6 a.m. That's horrible. I mean, I get that. Like, I used to work in the healthcare field, so I understand that those kind of jobs have to go, but whatever. Okay, guys, I got to get back on track because I just looked at the time. So, make sure that you're building your little piles and then start thinking outside of the box so that when it happens, because it will, middle of February, 4 feet of snow, 0 degrees, you've already run through your stockpiles, you've already re-inventoried all of your inventory, you have found all the stuff that fell off, you've relisted it, you've gone through all your I don't wannas, every single piece of possible inventory in your house has been listed and you are completely out and there's 4 feet of snow and it's 0 degrees. What are you going to do? You got to find ways to source in the winter. So you can, there are some resellers who do live auctions of boxes. There are resellers who sell mystery boxes for resellers. You can try to look into wholesale. You can look at auctions online. I wouldn't really recommend storage units if you live in a place like this in the winter, because the whole point of thinking outside the box is to find places that you can source online that deliver right to your front door for you so that you can list it. But there's plenty of places online you guys can look into bulk, wholesale, liquidation, buying pallets. You can get auctions on that. You can order boxes or do the auctions that other resellers like Donatella do. And I had another good one that I was going to tell you, and now it just totally left my brain. Oh, ThreadUp. You want to look at places like ThreadUp. You can get whole boxes of denim sent right to your door. And don't forget about online arbitrage. You guys know I'm always complaining about the race to the bottom and how everybody wants that fast nickel and everybody's ruining the marketplace. Go buy them out. Buy them up. If somebody's selling Donald Trump ties, $5 free ship, and they got 50 of them things, buy all 50 and list yours for 30 or 40, 50 or 60 or 80 or whatever's the going price. So don't forget about online arbitrage as an option as well. If other folks are selling stuff way too cheap, buy them out and flip it yourself. So there's a lot of places that you can, in the middle of the winter, from the comfort of your own home with the heater on, with a cup of coffee or hot cocoa, bundled up in your blanket. You can shop right on your computer, have it delivered to your door, and you don't run out of inventory, and you can keep sourcing. I really wanted to touch on that because I know that there are places in the country where it's nice year round and you guys are fantastic, but it's not everyone has that. ThreadUp is a big part of sourcing. Yes, Rhonda and Amelia are absolutely correct. ThreadUp will probably keep me going. I'm going to check out some of Donatella's live auctions. And we have some connections in some other places, which brings me to the end of the show. The last thing I want to talk about. So, we bought, if you didn't see on social media, we bought 3,600. It was supposed to be 3,000 remotes. It's more like 3,600 to 3,800 because bonuses were thrown in. I can't even speak. So there was a person, a connection, and they had 6,000 remotes for $3,000. And Casey called us and asked us if we wanted them. And we said we don't want them all because 6,000 remotes for a two-person operation, one of them still works outside of the house, is a very, very lot. And we felt like it would sit for far too long. Like it would take us far too long to get them listed to justify wrapping that much money up in it all at once. So we decided to split them. Because clearly 3,000 remotes is nothing for two people. So we split them. The dealer that we got them from was more than happy to split the remotes into two Gaylords and ship one to Florida to Casey and one here to Pittsburgh to us. And they threw in a bunch of extra remotes. So we actually paid like $1,600 out the door. That included shipping. And all the remotes, and they threw in some extra ones. I'm just trying to think. It was $1,500, but then splitting the Gaylords cost them more in shipping than they were counting on. So we offered to cover $100 a piece. So that's what happened there. So that was $1,600, but we're getting like 3,800 remotes. They're coming in a Gaylord. They're gonna be here tomorrow. That's gonna be most of what we're gonna be listing from here until Doomsday. That's what we'll be working on. But it is an amazing return on investment. It is an amazing deal. So you guys, when I talk about finding ways to source outside of the box, finding different ways to make connections and meet people, that's the kind of thing I mean. You guys have seen us grow from the very beginning. The very first video on this channel, we were digging Beanie Babies out of the bins because we didn't know anything about reselling. We didn't know what we were doing. We were buying Beanie Babies at the bins, and then we were buying everything that was 99 cents in sight. If it was 99 cents, it came home with us, and a lot of it was crap, and that's how we learned, though. We bought everything that was 99 cents, and we learned what was good, what we should try to find again, what we should buy again, what was a good investment, and we learned what was crap, and we should never buy again. And now you guys have seen us buy out several resellers that are going out of business, getting all their inventory, going into wholesale. I don't talk about it a lot on this channel because that's not what this channel is about. But we've also been into cell phones for about a year now. So we got into the cell phones and the electronics. And I don't talk about that a lot on here or the Amazon because Keith does all of that. And this channel is more about teaching people really how to get started and make this a volume-based business on clothing and plush, which is what we have done. And now we're going to have 3,000 remotes, and I don't even know what I'm going to do. So, list until they're done, right? Anyway, I'm going to try to get as much footage as I can of the Gaylord, and we're going to have to take everything out and put it into boxes and bring it in here. Probably going to put it down on the first floor with the inventory I got from my friend and bring them up and list them a little bit at a time. I'm going to try to get some footage of that, and then I'm going to sit down and do a pre-recorded video and kind of show you guys some of the remotes. I clearly can't show you all 3,000, but I could show you some of the highlights. And I'm going to talk a lot more about how to source outside of the box, how to find deals like this, how to make connections in the reselling world, and how you too can grow to buy stuff like this. And then next week, I believe, Casey and I will be doing a live show together to talk more in depth about that and the remotes, and show you guys and just kind of give you some more information on wholesale buying and making connections. So that is my announcement. Let me go through the chat real quick. Colleen's here. Welcome in. Hey, Colleen. Flint Motorsports. What are the best brands of plush to buy? I cannot answer that in under 2 minutes. I can't answer that in under 10 minutes. What I would recommend, if you have time, go back and watch some of my my plush that sold videos and my plush haul videos. But there's way too many to just like start naming them off. And then even then with plush, there's brands that are good, but there's stuff that you shouldn't get within those brands. And there's brands that are bad, but there's stuff that you should get within those. Plush is kind of like a whole different game, I guess. Colleen is killing it. Yes, she is. Vicky got ThredUp 7-pair reject of shoes, and they're all getting donated. Not even one good pair? The denim boxes are good, though. You're right. When I auction my auctions, they stay there until they sell. It doesn't cost me anything. Here's the thing. I've already put the time in the item to do the measurements, to do the photos, to do the original listing. Found out it was poop, or it sat around for far too long, so I moved it to an auction. With our store subscription, we get 500 free auctions a month. So I keep it at 125 items in drafts ready to go on auction at all times. That's my 250 free, or 500 free, 125 a week. Anything else that's crap, it goes into our clearance hut, $9.99 free ship. And that's the stuff that I pull from to build that number back up. So like this past week, we sold 7 of our auctions. So I'll pull 7 items out of the store that are listed good till canceled in that clearance hut and put them in the auctions. And every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, I go in the drafts. I make them live. Every Monday morning, they run Tuesday 9 to 7 at 9. Every Monday morning, I go to the unsolds, select all, sell similar, save the draft, and they sit there. They will sit there until they sell. I have already put all of that work in them. It's not costing us anything extra to run those auctions every month. And like I kind of alluded to in the beginning of the show, I would rather have money in hand to go get better inventory than give it away, wait all the way until we file taxes next year for a tax write-off. A tax write-off is nice. If you donate stuff, make sure you're getting your tax write-off. But I personally would rather it sell. And again, it's not costing anything. They're not taking up any of our precious space of the listings that we get per month with our subscription. And then above and beyond, we pay 10 cents each. They're just sitting in drafts, literally. 125 items that just get relisted every week. It gives a huge jump on Tuesday nights as far as activity, as far as Cassini sees it. We just listed 125 things every Tuesday night. It brings a lot of eyeballs to the store in action. So that's me. That's my philosophy. If it's not hurting us or costing us any extra money, they'll sit there until they sell. I would love, Sydney saw the serial killer room. It's really freaky. We have to go up there every day for our inventory. Swimmerization catching the end, driving home from work. I'm excited to find out what a Gaylord actually is. So, Dennis, it's just a big box that's like up to here on me. I'm 5 foot tall. You'll see. It's just like a big, giant cardboard box on top of a pallet. So, it's a pallet, a big box full of crap. In this case, full of remotes. But I will get photos of it as well with me next to it to show you the size and get as much footage as I can. Hey, Grand Larceny, welcome in. Just about to wrap up here. One more question for Vicky Vault. Or just got another question. I thought you had one. About my Good. So, Yeah, you're welcome, MW. I answered your question. Very long-winded, which I tend to do sometimes. I am very long-winded, and I do repeat myself a lot. Believe me, I'm 41 years old. My entire life, I've been told I talk too much, my stories are too long, I am too long-winded, and I repeat myself. And that's just me. That's my personality. But I like to explain my reasons why. Like, if I would have just said, I relist it until it sells, you're going to be like, why would she do that? Well, now you understand why. One, doesn't cost me anything. Here I go repeating myself. And two, I like the money in hand. I like the return on investment rather than a write-off. I think the pumpkins are in a Gaylord. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It's just like a box on a pallet. So yeah, stuffed animals come in them. Lots of things come in them. Okay, guys, we are at the hour mark, so I'm going to let you guys go. Like I said, the remote should be here tomorrow, so I may not get the pre-recorded out till Thursday or Friday. I'm going to get as much footage as I can, but we're going to have a lot to do when it gets here, because that's a lot of remotes to put in boxes and deal with. So bear with me, but I will get you guys a video on it, and then I got to get with Casey when his remotes arrive and see when he wants to do the live show between the two of us. So you're going to get 2 videos out of this, and you're going to get some tips and tricks on sourcing, how to make connections in the reseller world, and see my remotes. Yes, Taurus are very detailed, and I also am a writer. I was actually a paid writer for many, many years, and a published writer, and writers are very detailed. Like, a normal person will tell you they went to the store. A writer will tell you they went to the store, what the temperature was like, what the sky looked like, what the trees looked like that they drove past, if there were any animals on the way, how much gas was in the car, the make and model of the car, who else was at the store. They'll describe 10 people that they saw in the store in very great detail and tell you about how they checked out. That's the difference. Hey, Wade, welcome in. I was actually just wrapping up, but thanks for stopping by. I'd like to see you pop in. That's great. So first and foremost, boy, am I tired. Last but not least, not first and foremost, last but not least, you guys, we are so close to 5,000 subscribers. I think, well, it's right there. So 640 more subscribers, and little old tiny Flippin' Hippos will reach 5,000 subscribers. So if you have any friends, family, enemies, or frenemies that are resellers that might enjoy this channel, please recommend us to them. Please have them come watch. Please have them subscribe. We've really been struggling hard to get to 5,000 subs. That was our goal for 2019, to get to 5,000 by year's end. We hit our first 1,000 last year, a couple of months after inception. That was awesome, and we said, by the time we head into 2020, we want to have 5,000 subscribers. So recommend us to everyone you know that may enjoy this channel or learn something or take something away from it. Have them subscribe. When we hit 5,000, guys, there will be a big old party, and we are going to do some giveaways. It's going to be a fantastic time. If you haven't subscribed already and you'd like to, please do so and help us feed our hungry hippos and help us reach our goal. If you haven't joined the Facebook group already, guys, link is in the description box. You can look for Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod on Facebook. Join us over there. We have a fantastic time. And leave a comment later if you think of anything you forgot that you wanted to add. I do answer all comments on the channel. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Flippin' Hippos across all social media. Thank you so much to my moderators, David and Bill and Holly, for coming tonight. This is a really easy channel to moderate. I don't think I attract too many turds or trolls yet. Most of my viewers are very nice people, but thank you for what you do anyway. I appreciate you guys, and everyone else that came in and watched. You guys are fantastic. You're amazing. Without you guys, we wouldn't even have a YouTube channel. We would not be this close to 5,000 subs. We would have no one watching us, and I'd be talking to myself. So you guys, see, there I go again. I can't speak English when I'm live. So you guys know that we do appreciate you, is what I was trying to say. Thank you so much for watching us, guys. You are the absolute best. Go be productive. It's Q4. Go get some stuff listed. Let's all make some money and have really awesome sales and be successful this Q4. Love you guys. Bye. You are the best. Bye.